Hey everyone,
I'm Jill.
and I'm Rhino.
And we love bourbon.
In addition to drinking it, we also wanted to learn about it and share that info with you.
So come join us in
The Bourbon Study.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Bourbon Study. We are here for this momentous
1 year! I thought what would be cool for this momentous occasion, 1 year it all started to go with the Old Fashioned. That was the first drink we ever made.
Correct.
On the Bourbon Study.
We've learned a lot of things since then about bourbon, about cocktail mixing, about all sorts of things. So we thought it would be good to revisit the Old Fashioned.
Yeah, and Jill, you got this book while we were in...
I got that actually from Rabbit Hole, from the gift shop.
Yeah, so this is Cocktail Codex, I know made by Death & Company, because they've also made another book, which I believe is just called Death & Company.
Death & Company, yes.
They're
This is considered like the encyclopedia of cocktails.
Yeah.
So Death & Co. and the Cocktail Codex are like the Bibles of cocktail mixing.
Well,
the interesting thing about Cocktail Codex, where Death & Co. is more of a cocktail recipe, like inspirational thing, Cocktail Codex is very informational. So they sort of break down what makes different drinks those different drinks.
Yeah.
And that it's very, like, when you boil down the components, there's only like 6 main types of drinks, and then everything else is a variation of those.
Yeah, Old Fashioned, Martini, Daiquiri, Sidecar, Whiskey Highball, and the Flip. Isn't that crazy? 6 drinks. It's like one of those things that reminds me of like in literature, where they're like, there are only so many stories that have ever been told, and it's just like everyone's using the same archetype. Yeah.
It's like how that Warm Bodies movie is just a Romeo and Juliet retelling.
I know,
with zombies.
But with zombies, and we love a good zombie. So no, so we thought returning, it would be fun for the 1 year. We thought we'd do it more in the more classic sense this time, but make the Bourbon Study Old Fashioned now. Put our own twist on it.
So we have looked at, the first episode of the Bourbon Study, we did an Old Fashioned. We did it with simple syrup, which is the common way nowadays at every bar and restaurant and home in America. And we decided that we wanted to go old school.
Old school, cute.
So for this reimagining...
Before the bread was sliced.
For the redo.
The redo, yes. Yeah. The redux, yeah.
For the redo of the Old Fashioned, we are going to use sugar cubes and muddle. To do the Old Fashioned with sugar cubes, you want to get the raw sugar cubes. So these are called Demerara sugar. It also says like raw on the box. Sometimes if you get the brand name sugar cubes.
You can get it at like the grocery store,
They're brownish. Yeah, you can get these at the grocery store in like the tea and bread and jelly aisle. You're going to use 1 cube, and then we're going to take the bitters. So for our Bourbon Study Old Fashioned version, we're using a combination of Angostura orange bitters.
We're partial to the orange over the standard.
And bitter cubes. These are blackstrap, which is like cinnamon, molasses, spices. This also has some orange peel in it.
Yeah.
So we're going to put these right on the cube.
Yeah.
Because we want to start to break down.
Yeah.
What that cube. The crunchiness, we're going to have to muddle it a bit.
I just love the combination of orange and cinnamon. It's my favorite drink in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is that Otter's Fizzy Orange Juice.
I love that thing.
It has that cinnamon around the rim of it. Oh, it's so good.
And then we're going to use a bar spoon of the juice from the cherries. And then we're going to muddle that.
The tough thing about using a cube versus a syrup is that a cube, if you're not muddling it, no matter what you do, it's not going to disperse into the drink as evenly. Yeah.
Then we need to get our ice. It should be square ice if you have access to
square classically, ice was cut 2 by 2, and that's why they use the square cubes, because it's the days of old. So if you've got a square ice cube maker, you can go the old way, or you can do ball ice like we did. But for today's purposes, we're doing the cubed.
So we got our square ice, and we've got the sugar muddled bitters down the bottom. And then what we're going to do is add the bourbon, of course.
Yeah, but I read in the Cocktail Codex, it said the thing about the bourbon is that you want to pick a bourbon that is distinct without being too dominant.
Today we're going to use the Elijah Craig, which is the small batch, the 94 proof. This is just the standard Elijah Craig, but it's like sippable, neat, but also not going to...
And it's got a distinct flavor, yeah.
It's not going to blow away all the other flavors.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to do 2 ounces, of course.
Of course.
We're not crazy
heathens.
people. And then, instead of shaking,
I'm going to do a stir today.
we're going to do a stir.
They're doing it the classic way for today. You know we love a good shake, but today we're
love
going
a
to do
good
the stir.
shake.
We're going to do the stir.
A lot of times, if you get a stirred drink at a bar, they have like the
big one.
the big glass,
yeah, like
pitcher
yeah.
kind of a thing. It's not a decanter because
yeah, because you're right, because it's like
it's
like
like a
open.
mixing
Yeah.
glass, and then they would pour it into your drink after that. Then, for the classic version of the old fashioned, we're going to use peel of both orange and lemon.
But big important thing to know, only one of these is getting rubbed along the glass.
Yeah, so the orange, you should get your little strip of orange peel, and you're going to express the little oils out onto the
Remember,
drink.
skin down.
And then you're going to rub the orange on the edge of the glass. Now, for the lemon, you're only going to express that and then put it in the drink. So you don't have to...
You don't rub the glass because...
You don't rub the glass with it.
Yeah, because it can go the wrong way.
You just go beep, beep, and then you just kind of stick it down in there. Then, of course, because we're not miscreants.
No. We insist upon
We
a cherry.
insist upon
Insist.
sometimes 2. And then I like to add just a little bit of the orange bitters.
You know why I like sometimes at Disney they'll do the thing where they'll do the 3 on the toothpick for you, and I'm like, this is too many, but then I'm always happy that I have
You'll
them at
never
the
be
end.
mad about
Yeah.
it. And then just like 1 little drop of the bitters back on top of the ice cube. Cheers to a
just-
year.
To a year. It feels like 84 years.
It's smooth, it's soft, it's got all of those delicate notes of the bourbon that come out, that it sort of just like enhances those. It takes everything that's in the bottle and opens it up, like spreads it out on a table.
Yeah. What I liked in the book when I was reading it was saying that like an old fashioned invites slow sipping and contemplation. It's like you're meditating on the thing. And so it's like a drink where you sip and you're just kind of reflecting, you know? So I thought this was a great one to do for the year, because not only does it where we started at all, but then just like think about it. A year. Not only a year. Almost 100 episodes or 100 episodes. I don't know.
How many different bottles do you think we've sampled in the last year?
So I went through at Christmas and made a master list finally, because I have to renumber all the episodes for my personal drive. And I've been wondering that, because I think last year we probably tried close to like 40 different bourbons.
What do you think? Okay, so in a year recap,
35 to 40, I would
let's
say.
do a year recap.
Yeah.
What is your favorite bourbon that we've tried? That like
My favorite bourbon?
Yeah.
I still think that the Rabbit Hole, I don't know if we tried it on camera.
the
The Rabbit Hole
Derringer?
Derringer.
We didn't
I
yet.
don't think we tried it on camera
But
yet.
we are going to need to revisit that with the Manhattan, because they posted about it the other day on their Instagram, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's the ultimate use of
Perfect.
of the
We'll
Derringer.
have to do a try. Didn't you just get a new bottle of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That's what I'm like. So I would say of what we've tried on camera, I liked the Angel's Envy that was finished in the rum barrel. I thought
Yeah.
that was really, really interesting.
Standout,
Elijah Craig Toasted, I thought was
of
phenomenal.
course. Yeah.
And if I had to pick like a third one, it's hard because like there's Rabbit Hole variations that we haven't had on the main camera, and I would say of
but
the
this
bourbons
is
I've
just
tried in
about
my
your
life,
year, about like your journey.
then I would definitely say Rabbit Hole is like still
The
my
Derringer,
favorite. Yeah,
yeah.
the Derringer. The Derringer, which is a
Sherry
bourbon finished in
finished.
sherry.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I feel like I need to pick a standard bourbon to just sip in a glass. The best bourbon we had all year was the Race King. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, okay, so give me your like top 3. Like, what do you
Okay.
think are the best
The-
ones? And you've had way more than I have,
The
obviously.
Elijah Craig Toasted, of
Yeah.
course, is my number 1 be-all, end-all of all things.
Yeah.
But I would say that if we're talking about sipping neat,
Yeah.
my go-to is the IW Harper 15 year.
I don't think I've had that.
well, we'll have to change that. The IW Harper comes in like a decanter bottle. It's 15 years, and Steve and I found it in California, of all places. But so I'd say like for sipping neat, that's my go-to. But I love those weird ones. Like I love the Woodford brandy finished. I love the chocolate, the Race King.
Oh, the brandy finish was good, yeah.
Like any of those
the Race
weird
King was great.
finishings, I love those.
You know what one I actually really like, and I don't think you like it as much as me, but I don't know why I always come back to it, is the Balcones Brimstone. It's so smoky and fiery, and it literally, I don't think it works in anything. I think we did use it for a little bit in a mixed drink, but I think it's like, it's that sipping bourbon where you're like, yes, yeah, that was it. And that's where I'm like, I think that one's a really interesting flavor because it really does taste like that Epcot, Rome, the Venetians area thing.
The Phoenicians?
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite drink that we've made?
I think it's still the Scouts uniform.
Still the Scouts
uniform.
I
know. Yeah. We've made some really good ones.
Sweet potato.
I love the sweet potato, and that sweet potato is my standard go-to make for somebody when I'm there because I feel like it's a good weird drink.
I think that's the standard like holiday drink.
Yeah.
But I agree, Scouts uniform is still our best work.
I think it just like I love anything that's like it was like smoked, which was nice, and it had the marshmallowy flavors, and it was just like it also appeals to that olfactory like childhood good times kind of sense, you know. Yeah.
Goals for 2022.
As
we go into year 2 of the Bourbon Study, what are your goals?
I would like to go back to Kentucky before the end of the year.
Well, yeah, that's a good.
I would like to do the bourbon thing one more time and maybe do it even more than we did.
I think that I would like to do it more specifically tailored to us. There's a couple of places that I've researched that you can go in and like sample your own and blend your own.
Yeah.
Like on site. I'd love to do that.
That would be really cool. Because I really liked our experience when we ate with the chef.
Yeah.
I thought that was really
that was so
unique,
good.
And we lucked out with it being private with just you, me, and Kim, and so I'd like to do some more
stuff
like you
that.
just said, unique stuff, yeah. And also like you said, stuff that caters to us.
We've done like the standard.
No, we had to, yeah.
Bourbon experience. I would like to do the niche, like what's other chef pairing experiences? What's other create your own cocktail class? What's your I'd like to do the interactive kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of just the tour and sample. I think we're at a good place at 1 year that we know what's worked and what's sort of don't worry about that anymore. And I think that we have a good focus on tailoring things toward the future.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's to 100 more episodes. Thank you, everybody, for watching along with us. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Of course, we always have our Patreon site, patreon.com/thebourbonstudy. Where on there we do some exclusive tastings and live streams and videos and just fun things and everything like that. So check that out. Leave us some comments. Let us know what the best bourbons you'd have, what your favorite drinks were that we've made in this last year.
Yeah, I mean, we're exhausting the collection that we have as far as new things to taste. I think we're only down to 5 or 6 bottles that we haven't tasted yet.
And so that's why I'm we don't have to keep trying new stuff, but suggestions are always welcome.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Suggest what your favorites are, or if you have something local and you're in another state, tell us about it.
Here's what I do. Every time I go to a restaurant or something like that, that's oh, this is fun, I like to take a picture of the menu wherever there's a bourbon-based drink. And then I'm okay, I'll save it for later. I'll make it at the house. Maybe it won't be good, maybe it will be good, but then I have it. So share that with us. If you've got a favorite mixed drink that you've made too, I'd love to get that recipe, and then we could do it and credit you with that. That would be awesome too. So just let's chat. Let's have a chat. So for now, enjoy the old fashioned, and we'll see you next time. We sure did.
Cheers.
I'm gonna fish my cherry out. Huh?
Of course not.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.